So, new moon is upon us. A brand new moon. Thank the Lord. And retrograde is pretty much over. Double thank the Lord. My goodness. I tell you what, it's been intense, okay? And I'm just going to dive straight in with this because there is a lot that I need to share. Hopefully I'll be able to get it all in one video. But I feel like I've been through the Great Awakening, and I think all of us have done. Some of us realize it, some of us don't, and that's okay. But you will realize it just now. So I'm going to dive straight in. New moon, it's a massive shift. Retrograde, bit brutal this time, I tell you. It's like everybody's been through it. But let me tell you, as you guys know, I've just got back off a tour from Egypt, my first Tablets of Light tour that I held. And I went straight onto my own personal pilgrimage to my Mount Sinai and climbed that mountain and just, yeah, it was go, 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 go. So I've spent since May the 8th just integrating. It feels like I've been home for 6 million years, but actually it's not been that long. But what's happened as a result is a huge cataclysmic physical upgrade from all the codes that I collected in Egypt, downloaded, some things I lay into dormancy, some things I turned on, whatever. Either way, it's been a massive integration of the light that's been coming in. Now, Egypt tour or not, you have your own version of that in your life. So you'll be going through exactly the same thing. What's it all about? Okay, it's all about like exponentially now going on to the next level of serious change, massive change. Everything is going to change on not just a little bit, a lottle. Not a little, but a lottle. It's going to go on to the next level. And it's not just a little bit. Like I say, it's really, really big, which is what could be the possibility causing a lot of trauma in some people. So this is why you've got to get yourself into alignment because it's happening with or without you, bro. We're going that way. And we've been asking for it for ages, but we're like, mañana, down the line, it's going to happen. Well, guess what? It's happening now. And we're all like, shit, my God, I don't know whether I want to do this. I'm not ready. Do you know what I mean? You're ready. And I had a dream when I got back from Egypt that basically what the tone of the dream was, it was all about moving and upgrading. And I was dreaming that I was packing away my office and I was going to a new place. I dreamt about my house in Zimbabwe. I dreamt about, laying the table with cutlery, and there was loads of people coming for dinner. And that was a message to say, you have everything you need. Every knife, fork, spoon, plate, glass, you just got to arrange it how you want it now. And that was a really powerful dream. And that is absolutely the truth of the whole matter. That is exactly what's going on. Do you know what I mean? We have everything that we need and it's now time to arrange it. But we have been collecting everything that we need for so long that we've got into a little bit of a false sense of security. As I say, mañana. And now it's go time. And they're like, no, it's here now. And you're like, sorry, what? No, it's here. Like, now? Really? You know what I mean? And there's a little bit of a freak out going on. So basically, everything is going to change in a really, really, really big way. So are you going to let go or are you going to be dragged? So that's how the trauma will come in. None of us like change. We're creatures of habit. So how do we work with that? Well, first of all, you've got to get into your heart. Second of all, you've got to speak to your soul aspects. Your soul aspects are basically parts of you that are vibrating in trauma. 2 changes, and that can go from past life, this life, whatever. I had to go into a quiet moment because I'm going to keep it real short because there's so much. These stories, I have millions of them. But anyway, my white line frequency is coming online so much. And I basically got to the point in my journey where I'd done all this completion codes because I've done the Egypt, I've done this, I've done that. All of my physical creations I brought into fruition now. And now I'm ready to go to the next level. And the white lines were like, right, are you ready? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, no, this is a big decision. You need to take at least a week to sit with this. And I was like, well, how do I do that? And they said, you've got to speak to your soul aspects and make sure that everybody's in alignment. Always laugh at that. We've got to see if we're all together moving in that way, because ain't no one got time for a cart with 3 wheels. We're gonna have the 4 wheels on, right? So anyway, I was like sat there and I was like, oh, everybody will be fine. Let me just go into this. Don't like being, I have no patience. So I was like, fine, a whole week I'll sit with myself. So I sat there and I tapped in and I was like, right, okay, is everybody okay with coming? Well, soul aspect came straight in, and what she said but everything's going to change. If you go up to this next level of frequency, which essentially is you're giving a sacred yes to embodying the full signature frequency of you, meaning you're actually going through the final stages of knowing exactly who you are, meaning what your signature essence is. And I'm going to get that to that now. That's an acceptance fully of who you are, acceptance of core power. So if you do that, everything's going to change. And my little aspect self was like, I don't know whether I'm ready for that. And I was like, well, I'm not staying here. And they're like, well, I'm not going there. So now we have a problem. So we had to sit there and just have a bit of a conversation and just say, do you know what? We're going to be okay. Because I know stuff now. I know stuff. And I've completed my Harry Potter school. I have my wand, I have my spells. I'm pretty well equipped. We're going to be okay. Eventually, Soul Aspect Marie said, right, I'm on board, let's do it. So I am in the stages now of kind of embracing my signature essence frequency. Now I'm now going to talk about kind of like a bit of the practical spiritual with this, because seeing yourself, when somebody says, no wonder things aren't going your way, because at the end of the day, you need to acknowledge yourself, you need to love yourself, you need to, recognize yourself, and you go, okay, that's cool, I understand that. And I remember journaling as to why I felt so invisible, okay? And I've done so much inner work, and I was like, I'm sick of being invisible. Why do my creations never feel like they land? So I came back from Egypt feeling quite unfulfilled, actually, but not now because I've done the work. But the message was, you can go and do 20 million different sacred tours. You can go and climb 1 million sacred mountains, which is pretty damn big. But if you're not going to recognize yourself, those are not going to fill that hole. And I kind of know that, but I was expecting to feel some sense of achievement, zero sense of achievement. So it was a case of like, right, I need to see myself. And I was like, okay, well, I get that, because there's no self-belief. So I was like, I get that. But then how do you go there? I was like, that's all well and good. What do I do now? And it was a case of acknowledging myself. And the next level of that is, I'm going to give you the teachings now. This is just how I understand it. So all of your past lives, okay, this life, past life, whatever. We're going to go into the Akashic records now. If you don't know what the Akashic records are, doesn't matter, just work with me here. Imagine your whole library of you. Well, it'd be a lot bigger than this behind me. Imagine that there is a soul library of you, because there is actually, and millions of books, okay? Every thought, action, experience gets energetically written in these books, of which you can change anytime, okay? So literally you can write your future, you can rewrite the past, you can change, because everything's energy. So you've got this energetic library all about you. So what happens with the council before you come down into this life, into this body? They say, right, okay, so what exactly do you want to go, like you're going to go down there in 2022 where the new earth is just going to click over and now you really can actually fulfill your purpose. So what signature frequency are you going to go down there with? You know what I mean? Like, and you kind of sit there and go, I don't know. So they say, well, look at your books, right? You're going to see a lot of books there which didn't end well at all, and you're just not going to take those down, because those books that didn't end well, past lives and things like that and experiences, those are the lives that were there just for the purpose of learning and growth, okay? Because we can't basically go into the light unless we have the dark. We need to go through the dark to grow and expand. Okay, so we're not going to take those. So your signature frequency, you're going to pick the best lives you had when you were fully in your power. You had all of your superpowers. You knew exactly what you were doing. You just got it. You knew it. So which lives are you going to, which books are you going to pick? And you're going to go, well, I'm going to have Book of Lemuria. That's when I did pretty well. Atlantis, did pretty well there as well. In fact, I had 3 in Egypt. I was pretty badass there. Bring those books down. So you now start to embody these books of these outcomes and lifetimes, which is all frequency of where you've got the best ingredients for the best cake mix ever for you to go and do your mission on earth, which is now. So that's all so you embody all of that frequency, and your guides go, right, you good? You got 6 past lives there of where you got it right. You know, you got all of that to pull from, and you're like, cool. And they go, oh, hang on, before you go, here's a big layer of shit to go on top of it. You just got to work through that first before you get to your signature frequency, which is your lifetimes when you got it right. Ah, bugger. So down you go. So we've been working through that top layer of shit. Now, where we're at, we've gone through, because this dark side can't last forever. You clear. Now all of a sudden, oh my God, I've cleared the layers. I'm now blowing the dust off these books. And it's like you've made an archaeological discovery. And you're like, oh, I've hit the Holy Grail. Here's my signature frequency. So now all of a sudden you're looking at your signature frequency. You can see it. You can feel it. So now there is an embodiment and a recognition and an acknowledgement of who you really are, right? So that is, for me, how you get to see yourself. And it is acknowledging the gifts and abilities that you have, meaning laughter. You make people laugh. I do. I love doing these. Look, I'm really good at this. Do you know what I mean? I know what these videos do for people. Makes you laugh, first of all. Second of all, makes you feel like you're not on your own. Third of all, you might learn something. Maybe, hopefully you do. And there's a connection. Do you know what I mean? And we're all one vibe. So that's one of my superpowers, you know, of which we have millions. You have tons as well. So I've now acknowledged and accessed and seen what my signature frequency is. So since I've done that coming back from Egypt, now people can see me, because now I can see that myself. Now other people can see me and they can find me, and I can help more people in the world. I have an audience. Do you know what I mean? And essentially that audience is soul family. So that's how you find your soul family. So you've got to clear all the shit off your frequency. Once your frequency is clean and pure and it's exposed, and you've got to feel fearless and courageous enough to expose it, which means do the shadow work, and then others can find you, because that's your soul family. They hold the same frequency as you. They can't pick up on your shit though. They can pick up on your light, because their light is exactly, they're pulled from the same library as you. They got the same books. Do you know what I mean? So you connect in. So that is how you see yourself. And now that has happened, okay, you are now going to arrive at what we call a signature frequency, a signature essence that maybe you might not have connected with fully. And I'm going to share with you my experience, the white lions and lion energy, Sekhmet. I've got 4 Maine Coons, I'm like anything cats, you know what I mean? I'm actually everything animal, but essentially that is my powerful frequency. That's my most powerful one, the feline. So now I've got to that layer, and now I've understood who I really am. Guess what? Blow me down. My codes are Andromedan. They are white lion, white tiger, white feline. They're encoded here. And the white lions were always a frequency that I could reach, but I couldn't quite connect with fully. And now, since I've seen myself and I've gone through that process, what I've just explained to you, now I've seen myself, okay? Now the white lions are on fleek, and I was working with them before, but now they're just up front and center now. And I even had dreams about lions and everything last night. So my point is those frequencies that are right at the base of you are going to start to show themselves now. And now you can actually see yourself, that now you can download the codes and the divine guidance fully. And now you can download the divine guidance fully. You can now complete your mission and purpose and get in alignment. Sorry, I had to do it again, with where you're supposed to be. So for you, it may be the Vikings. Maybe you have a Norse frequency. You know, it doesn't really matter where it lands, because it's all frequency and vibration, man. But what does matter is that you see it. You don't see a shadow, you see a light. And now we can see our light. Why? Because we've gone through this huge, massive shift. The physical body is going through so much integration and shifting and shaking and changing in such a big way that is a massive indication that massive energy shifts are now being able to burst through. So many people have had operations, including myself. So many people, I mean, my daughter broke her ankle. Big cataclysmic things have gone bam, bam. You know, it's happening. So don't be afraid of the chaos, of being like, oh my God, it's all going on, because it's about perspective. You can actually see that you are looking at it from a place of chaos, or are you looking at it a place of like, oh, I can catch my wave now? Do you know what I mean? Speak to a surfer. Big waves, somebody might not want to get their hair wet, you know what I mean? Because they're just, yeah, whatever, you know, they're not going to like big waves. It's trauma. But somebody else is going to go, shit, get my surfboard. Like, now we're cooking. So you have to change your perspective as to what's going on and open your heart to be able to receive the power. Because this is another thing, you know, it's like we are so in control and we are so controlling, and we don't even realize it. And when I was taken into a very powerful journey, when I was actually on the anesthetic, which was crazy to me, it's like 10 ayahuascas, good ones, on this anesthetic. It was a massive awakening. They showed me that I don't like this groggy feeling, and essentially what it did is it showed me how much control I have to opening up. Because when I opened my heart and I just was peaceful, I really worked with that groggy feeling of anesthetic and I was able to journey. But when I started to panic, because anesthetic gives me anxiety attacks, when I started to panic and go, I'm not safe, they were like, you are, just open your heart. And that's the same as plant medicine. That's what happens with Aya. She's just like, don't freak out. It's going to be rough for you if you freak out and close. Open your heart and coast, So that's what happened. So I got shown that the only block with me and my power and the reclamation of that last surge of me receiving my power is control. That's it. So there's going to be many realizations landing right now. And, and it's just to be aware, but it's also to understand and know that there's going to be chaos. And if you're finding chaos, ask yourself if it's about control, and remind yourself, have a conscious conversation that you're okay. Everything's all right, because I'm here, you're here, we're here, everything's okay. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. So happy new moon. And what else is going to share? I think that's it for now. But yeah, just be gentle with yourself. I'm having a very physical rest week this week because I think the physical needs it. So that might be you. So anyway, love and light, y'all. Comments in the box. Like I say, I've been saying with the other videos, anybody wants something that me to talk about, just give me a task. I can talk for days. Love and light, y'all. Chat later.